Hey folks, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another videos. The paid request this time from Edward, who has been very, very generous. I really appreciate it, man. As have all the people that have sent in requests. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, tier lists, reviews, commentaries, reactions, random, video game related, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And Edward has requested 2 more episodes of South Park, this time season 16, episodes 3 and 4. Now, I just did get right into it. Episode 3 was really, really confusing. Now, I don't know if this is because I had to understand what was going on at the time. It's definitely the episode that it seems dated because they did all this stuff I didn't understand. It was the Republican Party debate in 2012 with Newt Gingrich and all these guys. And it sounds like they got their real voices and what they were really saying, but because I don't remember what the hell the whole deal was, I'm like, okay, that's an interesting choice. And so Cartman gets up, and the other kids, Stan, Kyle, Kenny, they're part of this mission where then Cartman does his shirt like this to look like boobs. And apparently, if you take pictures, that's a meme. Faith Healing. I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with Faith Hill? And I'm like, well, what the hell? Like, I have to look up on my phone Faith Hill meme. And it's about memes. And people say, well, actually, that meme is antiquated. That meme is old hat now. Now you have to do Taylor Swifting, where apparently you pull your pants down, you rub your butt on the ground. I'm like, did Taylor Swift do that? And apparently, I was just completely blind to all this shit going on. Although, if this was, I don't know, 2012, or actually, would it have been 2012? I don't know when the hell this would have come about, because this was all news to me. The meme is a play on the planking craze that was popular at the time of the episode's airing. Yeah, I had no idea about any of this. It's a satire on the power of social media and the way it to be used to start trends. The dangers of blindly following trends, how they sometimes lead to disastrous consequences. So that's the theme of it. Like I said, I think the idea because even though I lived during that time, I didn't see anybody where I was around doing any of this type of stuff. Or really doing any memes in general. I did probably because around that time I was maybe just going to work, coming home, maybe doing a review or two on YouTube, and that's pretty much it. I just really was not paying attention to memes. I don't go on TikTok. I really never go on Twitter, all that stuff. Yeah, 2012. I was making sure I got the year right. I mean, they say 2012 there, to be fair, but March 28th, 2012, to get the exact date when this aired. So apparently, like, people were doing this meme and social trend, and then, well, okay, people doing that, like, what other crazy shit could they have do? So, like, for example, the kids are threatened by this guy. I'm going to show you a film how dangerous memeing is. So a meme is like someone's on a train track. And they go, watch out! And they're staying there for like 5 minutes, watch out! And the train's like so far away. I thought that was funny, is that, oh my god, the train's coming, ah! And they're standing there, and the train's like all the way back here. And it takes like literally like a full minute for the train to finally come and hit them in a very bloody fashion. And it's like, well, if people do these memes, well, don't blindly follow social. I just nowadays, what would be the case of that nowadays? I remember there's a point that people were taking, what was that, in the urinals? The things in the urinals, and they would like try to bite them or eat them. Even during the time of the virus going on, or they would go and try to lick something. Because that was the trend. Like, just very stupid, idiotic choices. Like, just because I was a little bit more paying attention to the news, that I would understand a bit more. So again, while I was a bit confused what was going on the Pacifics, the general idea, like I said, they're following those trends. I did understand that part. It just, the part was like, was that a meme? Like, Faith Hilling, that was a meme? I didn't Taylor Swift pull their pants down, rub their butt on the ground. Another meme, cats with bread around their head. And they found, like, they did like lot of real pictures of this stuff from social media. They put in the episode. And apparently they did footage of a real cat going, meow, 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 meow. I forgot what the hell the cat said. And it goes this weird plot where the cats, oh my god, now they can memes, or they want to take over the world, so they arrest this cat. So they have like a cartoon box, but then in the hole you see the real footage of the cat doing whatever that meme was. And throughout it, Stan realizes the Faith Healing is uncool. Kenny joins them. Kyle calls them sellouts. Carl and Carmen try to stick with their old meme, but they realize it's old hat and the meme has passed them by. It's passe. And they get saddened by it. By the end, you have this another debate, and Carmen decides, you know what, I'm not going to follow trend. I'm going to stand on my own and do the Faith Hill thing, sing a song. The candies. At the end of it, there's literally a line that says, let's see if I can get the line of dialogue. Because the way they said it kind of perfectly just showcases really what the whole point of the episode is, and I want to make sure I get it right. Let me double check. It would be at the very last bit of the episode. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry about this. I want to make sure I say it correctly. And so, in the face of war, a little boy reminds us all what being human really means. The message is unclear, but it doesn't matter as long as you give the audience a song, celebrity bashing, and Republican hopefuls dancing around with boobies. It's called pandering. And all over the country, people are, and then that guy gets hit by a train as well. Pretty much, we get it. You may think this is dumb. You may not understand what's going on. You may think, what the fuck's this about? But hey, we bash some celebrities. We pander to you. So hopefully now you give us the pass. That's what it seems like he's trying to do. It almost seems like he's calling the audience stupid. But hey, we made fun of the Republican Party, Faith Hill, Taylor Swift. In other words, don't worry about following trends. Think for yourself. Don't worry about what other people think are cool and not cool. So I wouldn't say there were moments that made me smirk, like Kyle being pissed at Stan and Kenny and calling them sellouts. I thought that bit was funny. How Kyle and Cartman are kind of getting along together, and the sad realization that their meme is passe, and they're trying to not console each other, but they're kind of trying to deal with it together, since those two are usually at odds with each other. That's kind of a decent sequence. But it's definitely one of those scenes where it's more of a that was a meme, that was a thing. So I guess more of a curious look back through time as to what was going on around 2012. Which I lived that point, and even I didn't know this shit was going on. So it shows how far off the radar I am with this shit. But I wouldn't say I found it. Like, it's just more. These memes are fucking stupid. You guys are stupid for following them, so. Which is the point. But it's not like an episode I would say I loved or anything. But I didn't hate it either. It's just like, okay. But it's more confused than anything. I would say episode 4 I enjoyed a little bit more. Where the Chupacabra, this blood-sucking creature Carbon thinks exists, and of course pisses off Kyle because he thinks it's another slight Carbon's doing against the Jewish people. So Carbon gets Butters to join him outside to capture it. I do like the way the scene looks because they have these lights that give this glowing green color to the environment. I thought that was a nice visual aesthetic to the scene. It's always nice to see Cartman and Butters together because I'm a sucker for the Butters character. I kind of wish the whole episode was them trying to search for this thing, and the in and outs of trying to record everything, and is it a fake, is it reality, is it a myth, is it not a myth. So I wish there were more on them. I probably would have enjoyed that better. But instead, they record something and they bring it to the Bigfoot researchers. And yeah, you did pretty much tell what these guys think of Bigfoot researchers because they portray them as dumb, idiotic, loony losers. Like one's portrayed like he is mentally unfit. Oh wow, how's it going? I saw something there. This color. So you tell they don't really have much credence to Bigfoot researchers. So there's this food. I forget the super. It was a grocery store that are getting ready for this egg hunt because it's Easter, but they're afraid that Cartman's going to be scaring them off. And then when they think, oh, the Bigfoot researchers think maybe this is creature, and you record us, and now it's going to be after you. So Cartman's scared to death. And in fact, the grocery guys put Cartman in a bunny suit and put him out there, smear blood on him. Because, hey, if it's after you, we'll offer you as a sacrifice, so maybe then it'll leave us the hell alone when we do our egg hunt. And then the Bigfoot researchers find him and they think it's the bunny man, so they tranquilize him. Oh, we got evidence, but they're so stupid. They don't take the bunny man, they take the gun and leave. So it shows just how really of low stature the creators have think of the Bigfoot researchers. So then Kermit has his dream about the plagues of Egypt. And wait, God's not that much of an asshole, is he? And then he says, oh, if I get out of this, I'll be Jewish, I promise. Kyle feels bad for him, gets him out, gets him back home. He wakes up. Cartman doesn't know how he got there. So now, the next day, he's just trying to spread. Everybody needs to convert to Judaism. No one believes him. So he goes up and apologizes to Kyle. I'm sorry, no one believes in you. And then Kyle kind of answers him very flat, as if, sure, Cartman. Like, he knows Carmen's been sincere, but just his complete utter stupidity, Kyle's just over it. Happy Passover. The tower goes up to a Star of David in the sky. It just, with these two episodes, it just felt like random. Like the story just kind of was thought of last minute. It really did feel like it with these two episodes. It's like, well, shit. We need to go. We have half an hour. We need to get these stories pitched. Go on the internet. Oh, you know what? There's these memes. Have it be about that. OTU? Well, I saw something about Bigfoot, so okay. Well, do we want to do Bigfoot? No. Okay, some with Cartman. He doesn't like Kyle because he's Jewish, so maybe some with Jewish. Okay, how about the Jewish? Well, we need a song and dance in there. Okay, well, how do we get in there? Okay, well, he just tranquilized, and then he thinks he's in Egypt, and then you have a little singing in there. I just didn't really think, like, you never see the Chupacabra, so I'm kind of, in a weird way, it's refreshing that usually they would show that creature and go on a tear, but they didn't. So now there's a thought of maybe that creature doesn't exist, and Carmen just pretty much scared himself into this new religion. And I highly doubt it lasts. I'm sure by the next episode, that's completely forgotten. So then you kind of get into what was the whole point of this episode. Of course, I guess you could say that for a lot of episodes, since there's not a whole lot of continuity. But there's little moments I like that Kyle keeps getting called by Cartman, and the dial tone is Maniac from Maniac, Maniac, from Flashdance. That was out of the blue, but I thought that made me chuckle. The little bit of Butters. In episode 3, during the whole meme being shown, all these memes that are dangerous, the teacher shows these bits with the trains and the bloody remains, and Butters keeps getting more scared. And then he's like, why you take this gun? Put it in your mouth. You might as well do that if you do these memes. And then Butters does it. And then throughout the episode, it keeps coming back to the class. And even though he's all alone, he still has the gun in his mouth. And he's just waiting for someone to come by. Here, getting a little bit between him and Cartman. I wish he was in more of the episode. Maybe the both of them chained up. And the both of them forcing these outfits. Maybe we see Cartman's dream. Then maybe Butters has a dream of a completely different sort. But I don't know. They didn't go that route. Again, it's not going to have Cartman be tolerant in the future, because probably the next episode completely forgets about this, I'm sure. Maybe not, but I'm fairly sure. If not, I'd be surprised. So it's kind of, it wasn't bad, but it's kind of like, at least it felt random. I know you just say, well, that's a lot of episodes, but usually they have a little bit more of a smooth follow through, but I don't know. I would say the first 2 episodes were definitely stronger than these ones. At least that's just me. So it's definitely a show at this point. It's kind of this up and down feel for me. Some are better than others, and some is like, eh. I didn't hate either of them. It's hard to. They're 20 minutes long. They go by a fast pace regardless. Being used to the voice work and being more and more fond of the voice work as it goes along. Again, always nice to see Butters in there. Once in a while, a little chuckle here and there. Episode 4 didn't confuse me as much as episode 3 with all the meme stuff, so maybe that's why I enjoyed it a little bit more, but I wouldn't say it's high grade South Park, at least for me. So, it is what it is. But with that said, thanks for watching. Thanks once again, Edward. I really appreciate it. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.